Hey guys, Toby Morrison here, and I wanted to jump on and share with you a client success story. And why I'm doing this is because it's, obviously on YouTube and on videos, I can't just share you the text because it wouldn't make sense in a video. However, I've got the email in front of me right now, and it was so impactful that it actually made me tear up. And so I asked this girl, Bianca, if it was okay if I could share her story to the wider community of people who maybe need to hear this right now. And she agreed that absolutely that's totally fine. And so I've got her email on my phone, as you can see. And so I'm just going to read it out to you. And so it's just so relatable and it's just incredible. And where she's at now is just so inspiring. I'm going to show you some photos of her later as well, of what she's up to. But here we go. Bianca Sprague, 18 years old, from Australia, Victoria. Before I got sick, I was in year 6 participating in all aspects of life, with a heavy interest in sports such as cross-country, running, hockey, soccer, cricket, athletics, football, softball, you name it. Pretty much anything that was available to do, I was signing up for. I loved hanging out with friends, going for bike rides and runs on the weekend, and I absolutely hated sitting down doing nothing. It was my last year in primary school, and I was super excited. In saying this, I was a super competitive person. I was a super competitive person and had a tendency for everything in my life to be perfect, causing me to be often stressed and anxious. And there's two things there. The first thing is that she did everything and she hated to sit still and do nothing. That's such a common denominator with people with chronic fatigue syndrome and fibro. And the second thing is she had that perfectionistic tendency. Now, I worked with Bianca about 6 or 7 years ago, so I know exactly what she was like. She was such a beautiful person, but she had so much pressure on herself. And you'll hear how she changed all this. Upon being diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome halfway through year 6, it was a complete shock and utterly devastating, especially that I already had glandular fever in year 1, a milder version of CFS, but still an indication to myself of what this meant now for my life. It got to the point where I was having headaches every day at school, couldn't concentrate, I was extremely tired. Eventually, I made the decision with my family to stay at home until I felt better. Not realising I would miss 2 months of my final year at primary school, at this point, whilst at home, it was very hard not to be sad, depressed, anxious, frustrated, when being unable to do anything except sit at home whilst my friends were out there having fun and I was missing out. It's just so relatable. Like, everything that she says is just like, wow, so spot on. During this time, I felt very down. I had no energy emotionally or physically. Some days I wanted to cry and stay in bed all day. Other days I was able to do some cooking or reading to distract myself from what I was missing out on. I tried to occupy my mind with puzzles and tried hard not to sleep during the day. But in terms of trying to be active, I couldn't gather the strength to even go for a walk. She was in a really tough spot. I was extremely lucky to have an amazing support system from my family who tried to help me and make me smile, which sometimes worked, but other times I felt like I had to put up a positive front to make them happy and less worried. And oh my God, like, it's just so true. Like, how I feel like that's one of the hardest parts with CFS is like feeling that pressure, external pressure, even though they're not putting it on you. You feel it's like this internal pressure from the external, outside of you. And it's really tough, and so I'm really, really glad that she mentioned that. I couldn't hide from the fact that by being constantly tired and lacking energy, it stopped me from being able to be a part of fun and games and so on with my family and younger cousins, which created a big disconnect and added to my negative mindset. During this time, towards the end of year 6, when I forced myself to go back to school so I could graduate with my friends, my mum found Toby Morrison, who was conducting a program to help people with chronic fatigue syndrome. Especially upon entering high school for the following year, getting better was my number one priority. And that's the key, like you hear that with everyone who recovers, they make it their priority. They make themselves their priority. I was so grateful that my mum was able to take the time off from work to take me to see Toby because it made such a difference. And by the way, this isn't about me. Yes, she did the program. Yes, I helped her, but she did it, not me. I didn't do anything magical. I didn't do any. There was nothing miraculous overnight that happened. She just did the work and progressed and got better over time. I remember seeing Toby for the first time and noticing, firstly, how tall he was. I'm actually 6'6" if you don't know. And she says here, noticing how tall he was, but also his infectious smile. Toby really listened to my situation and created a program to slowly increase my strength and stamina over time. Not only this, a major part that ultimately helped me get better was the heavy interest in improving my mental and emotional state. With Toby always saying, "Remember to smile, B." It is something I genuinely try to do every day because it has such a powerful influence over our mood. The support and understanding of the team who were part of the program took it day by day and listened to how I was feeling. Some days I was so tired we would just talk and stretch, whereas other days I would incorporate some reconditioning and strength training back into my body. An incredible accomplishment considering where I was a couple of months prior. Ultimately, this program taught me the importance of listening to my body and trying to keep a positive mindset, which has continued to help me even to this day. The best part was having people understand what I was going through, because with something like CFS, it can be so frustrating trying to explain it to someone because they just don't get it. They think you're being lazy, and sometimes I wish I had a broken arm because then at least they could see it. But Toby and his team understood this, and it gave me some reassurance that it wasn't all in my head and helped me feel a sense of belonging with people who were trying to help me get better. This is for the fun part. Right now, I've just finished Year 12. Was able to get through it without relapsing, especially considering Year 12 is the most susceptible time, can't say that word, you get it, time to get CFS. This was a major win physically and mentally for myself. Over the years with high school, I was able to participate in every sport and aspect of college life that I wanted to without any limitations associated with CFS. When I got overly stressed and tired, I would listen to my body and slow down, which enabled me to be part of sporting events and social gatherings without fear. She says, I went back to playing hockey. I was able to compete in the junior state championships, winning 2 years in a row. I have now changed and I'm doing CrossFit, something I could have never thought I would be able to do, but amazingly I am. Even though I leave each class being barely able to walk with muscles aching and shaking, the pain of being able to work out now and sweat and feel good about it has never felt so good. So now, having graduated high school and having to enter a whole new world, I'm hoping to get into the Air Force next year as part of their gap year program. If not, the backup plan is going to university. All in all, I couldn't be more grateful for the position I am in now, the strength and optimism and knowledge of listening to my body, which has enabled me to live my life without limitations of CFS once had on me. And she's got some advice for you guys listening. What I want to share with anyone, I get emotional sharing this, what I want to share with anyone who is struggling with CFS or who is on the road to recovery is to never give up. I truly believe that everything happens for a reason, and although you may not understand this at the moment while you're sick, be patient with yourself. Do not be too harsh on yourself either. Things will work out, and if anything, this very difficult time in your life is providing you with the strength that you can carry with your life for the rest of your life ahead. Have faith that you will be okay and keep trying. You've got this. The reason why I get so emotional sharing this is because she was such a great kid when I worked with her, and she's just so she's amazing. Like to be writing this and to be 18 years old with this kind of strength and insight and wisdom is just incredible. And so as much as I've made a big impact on her, she's made a big impact on me, and we still keep in touch to this day, which is brilliant. I want to show you a couple of photos. Sorry, I'm sure you're probably pretty emotional too. It's an amazing story to hear, and you can just see her right there. Like she's just such a great person. So that was her winning the hockey state championships, and I think that was her graduating with the Air Force, or being accepted into something. And she's just such a happy, soulful person, and I just remember how hard it was for her at the start, and it wasn't easy. And so I just want to share that for all of you guys. The thing about B, I call her B, her real name's Bianca. The thing about B is she just did the little things every day. It wasn't anything major that she did that really helped her the most. It was the consistency of doing what worked daily, figuring out a plan for her that worked for her, and then doing the things daily to continue on that path. And, ultimately, as she said, it was, listening to her body and then now being so smart enough to be in tune and going, okay, I need to rest and relax now, and I need to chill out just like a healthy person would. She doesn't have that perfectionistic trait as much anymore where she can relax and not be so hard on herself. And so, it's just a brilliant, brilliant story. So, my suggestion maybe is rewatch this video, take some notes on what worked for her and what didn't work for her, and then apply that. And if you want help, if you want to learn more about what B did, the program that she did, and get the same kind of help and guidance that she got, what you can do is go to the comment section in this video or in the bio and click mentorship. Click on that, watch the video. If you want to learn more, if you feel like you relate to it and totally get it, then apply for it, and we'll speak to you soon. And all the best to everyone who's watching this video and doing the best they can. Bye for now.